everybody, welcome back to the show. It is always a pleasure to see our next guest.
Absolutely. Chef Paul Yellen joining us, the Rhum chef. And we're talking, of course, delicious food. And we always ask him where he's been lately. And it was like a geography lesson. South Beach,
Been having some fun?
A little bit.
A little bit of fun?
A little bit.
Now, we are cooking with rum today, and this is Eclipse Silver. Now, in the world of rum, what does that mean? Is it the same as tequilas and stuff?
Well, this is a white rum, but it's a premium white rum. Normally, white rum is just a distilled liquor, and straight away, it's bottled. So it's 15 minutes old. But this is actually a triple distilled and aged white rum.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a little bit smoother, it's a little bit classier.
And of course,
check it out.
just like Fiona, smoother and classier. So what are we making today? It smells incredible.
We're gonna make
already.
drunken shrimp in a coconut rum curry sauce.
Yeah.
Delicious.
That sounds like
All
Friday
right,
to me.
where do we begin?
We're at the beginning.
At the beginning, with a red hot pan.
So you can usually use, I would say a recipe is just something to follow.
Right.
You know, it's not a guide. It's just a guide. You
Yeah.
don't have to do it. So
It's the rough
garlic,
outline.
always a little garlic, some onion.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweat that off. Butter, olive oil, it's your choice. But everything tastes better with butter.
It really does. And you've added, is this ginger?
Ginger, garlic ginger, some sweet pepper,
Yeah.
curry powder. Now, what happens with curry powder is when you heat it, it releases the oil. And you wouldn't think that a dry powder has oils, but it does.
It does.
And that's how you really release the flavor in curry.
It smells so good.
Yeah, I had no idea.
From there, yeah.
Well, and your influences, obviously, I mean, where you grew up and where you've traveled and everything else. I mean, it's a real crossroads of all these different food styles and cultures coming into.
It is. And you're going to get a little bit of a fire.
Oh, just a little.
Just a little. But it burns off. So it's great that way.
So when you're cooking, it really does burn off the alcohol.
It does.
Yeah.
And so that just leaves you the flavor profile that you're looking at
Correct.
from the...
A little bit woody. So
Nice.
pineapple juice.
Very
Hopefully
nice.
that's not going to light on fire too.
No,
'cause
this is
Everett-
actually going to put out the flames.
Theoretically.
Theoretically. It stops the burn.
We don't worry, because we've got rum.
How many different rums are there? Is that a stupid question?
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds, literally hundreds. But since rum was invented in Barbados, there's only one.
There is only one.
Mount Gay rum is the oldest rum in the world.
I didn't know it was the oldest. That's
It's
really
the
interesting.
oldest continuously operating rum company, so it's older than America. It's over
Really?
320 years old.
Really?
Unbelievable.
And he has been featured in the New York Times, the London Times, Bon Appetit, and many others. So without further ado, Chef Paul Yellen.
Well, I want to thank everyone for coming out. I know it's been a very hectic weekend for a lot of us. Anybody was at Ambrosia last night? Yeah? So I know you're feeling it, right? It was a little hard to get up this morning. But like true professionals, we persevere. So basically, as Ray was saying, Barbados and the Caribbean itself, I don't think enough people show it's not the interest. They really just don't have the idea of what is available in the Caribbean, in Barbados. It's not just jerk chicken and rice and peas. I mean, I know people like it, it's a staple, but there's so many cultures, so many different types of people who live here, who grew up here, who emigrate here, and the cultures are all mixed, and everybody brings their own style, their own cuisine. If you travel to Jamaica or Trinidad, you will see just amazing cultures, people who are half Chinese, half Indian, beautiful people and beautiful food. And I don't think that there's enough emphasis on how to cook properly, and how to really marry these foods. And of course, now that we're in an age, through festivals like this, that pairing with American Express and Food and Wine, we're able to export ourselves.
Hey, stay with me. When we come back, we'll be with my friends Sarah Graham of Southern Seasoned Cooking School and Jimmy Hatt from Guerrilla Cuisine, two of Charleston's brightest and best culinary ambassadors. I'm just gonna get the pan a little hot. Don't want to get it too hot. And we start with, a basic range of flavors where you build your flavors. A little pyramid, some garlic and onions. I love that smell. Right there. That's the smell.
And what kind of peppers are those going in?
Just little sweet peppers, mini sweet peppers.
Ah, okay. No heat in those peppers?
No, none. I'm gonna add heat in with either red pepper flakes. I'm gonna use this instead of trying to flip it. That is magic smell right there.
It does. It smells really good.
And before, maybe a little bit of corn, a little bit more corn. And a bay leaf. I know I won't really I like to work with fresh bay leaf, but I don't always get it. If you ever use the pepper flakes, red pepper, just a little bit. I mean, I like my heat on the back end, so I use a pepper sauce. And here's the curry and salt mixture.
You know, I can smell that corn in there.
You can pick out the corn.
Yeah, I really can. That's why it's funny how those little things make
A little bit
such
of
a
butter
difference.
and some sausage.
All right.
So here's where the Caribbean influence comes in. Just a little bit. I'm going to use a little overproof rum and just give us a nice, so instead of deglazing the pan with white wine, I'm just going to use some rum.
Ooh, nice. Beautiful.
There we go. I happen to like a little more than normal.
No, that's good. You're teasing us now. Come on.
Rum-kissed shrimp and grits. Rum-drunken shrimp and grits.
People always ask me what my favorite rum is, and I can't answer that because rum is not like vodka. Rum is not like any other spirit. Everybody has a distinct style. There's different distillation, methods, but then you have the aging process and temperatures and the barrels, the actual sugar cane itself. So you get such a variety of colors and flavors and
then
tastes.
the countries that come
And
with
the countries, and everybody is fiercely loyal
Absolutely.
to their rum.
Since I am the rum chef, it would be rude of me not to include some food to the mix. Now, each of these has a distinct flavor, distinct taste, distinct personality. And when I taste them, immediately I can see the food or the dishes that it would go with. This gold rum, right, even though it's a little bit young, 4 years, I can't wait for the 7-year-old. But this gold rum would be lovely in, say, a peppercorn sauce. So we do a rum peppercorn sauce over a nice steak. The spice, I would have to play with it a little bit more, but I'm sure the cocktails would just be amazing with it. The vanilla notes are clearly there. The cinnamon is present. So just a little ingenuity, and again, you have to test and play around with it, but the cocktails with this would be fantastic. And I have to say that immediately, just from smelling it and before I even tasted the Java, immediately tiramisu jumped to mind. So a rum tiramisu would just be perfect with this coffee flavored liqueur. And Scott was telling me a few minutes ago that one of their hottest ideas is a pineapple coffee pina colada. Now imagine what that would taste like for breakfast. How I like to cook, first of all, I know you know my name is Paul Yellen. I'm the rum chef. I cook with rum, yes. I drink rum, yes. In fact, when you're cooking with rum, you have to drink some. It's important. It gets you in the mood. But part of what I'm doing in the last few years is really trying to be an ambassador for Caribbean, for culinary. Unfortunately, when most people in Europe and America think about the Caribbean, they say jerk chicken, right? Everybody says, oh, jerk chicken, rice and peas. And they just have no idea the culture and the different styles of food and the taste that people have available. And that's because nobody's properly representing all the countries. The tuna, if you can get it, I'm gonna try and coat it, make a nice coat for it. So you start, again, simple flavors. I don't add salt to this because the things that it's going with will have salt in it. And I salt it. If you salt fish too much, it starts to cook and dry out. So I always salt it towards the end. And I'm just gonna do a little dry rub, some brown sugar. And the brown sugar helps to caramelize it and give it a nice color. So what you're looking for with the tuna is as it starts to cook, you'll, oh there, let me come in the middle. You realize that the line changes the color?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You see that? And of course what you don't want to do is burn it. Like that. And that's it. Literally in a second, that'll be finished. So the pesto that I made, just an easy mix, an easy blend with garlic, cilantro. Madame?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Où ça va? Haiti.
Haiti for the Wine Festival, yeah! Tell them who you are. I know I gave them a hint last year, but tell them who you are.
I'm the Rhum chef.
He is the Rhum chef. The Rhum chef is here tonight. Chef Paul, the Rhum chef is here. Please, a round of applause for the Rhum chef. Now, my brother, my friend, what did you prepare this evening? What I'm seeing is just exquisite.
Everything here is from this island. In fact, everything here is from within 20 miles of this hotel.
Avant même de nous dire ce qu'il nous a préparé, écoutez ça. Tout ce qu'il y a dans cette assiette est d'ici, est d'Haïti. Il n'y a rien que vous allez recevoir dans la prochaine assiette qui n'est pas d'ici. En fait, il me dit que tout ce que vous allez goûter, tout ce qui est dans cette assiette, est dans un rayon de 20 000 kilomètres, vous pouvez le trouver. Donc, ce que vous allez goûter là, vous pouvez le faire chez vous. C'est déjà ça. Okay, now that we know that, what is it?
It's a local lobster tail. It's a Mai Tai. Mai Tai is a drink, and I've made flavors of the drink into the food. So it's coconut, it's rum, it's pineapple. Everything is in this dish.
Écoutez, est-ce qu'il y a des gens ici qui connaissent le Mai Tai? Il y a des gens qui connaissent le Mai Tai? Le Mai Tai. Donc, vous avez la noix de coco, les ananas, le rhum. C'est ce mélange avec lequel il nous a fait la langouste. C'est une langouste Mai Tai.
Okay, so we have an example here of a range of rums.
All these are considered fine sipping rums. And that's what's interesting. Here you have one that's fully distilled. Notice here on the left, this is a very fine sipping rum, but it's completely clear. Distilled multiple times to get the clarity that we're seeing here, but wonderful flavors and a sipping rum in a clear note. Don't see that very often. And then we have, going off from lighter to darker, rums, again, all sipping rums, all of wonderful quality, blended in different ways with a secret recipe that each of these distillers would have to make just their special rum. Often the secret recipe would include a caramel or a toffee flavor with it. It also comes out of the amount of char that's in the barrel. When they get the barrels from the whiskey companies, Sometimes they'll leave the char and the whiskey flavor in. Sometimes they actually clean them out, rechar the barrel, and depending on exactly what they're looking for in the end product.
Here's a Scottish company, a whiskey producer, who've actually bought the molasses from these countries and taken it back to Scotland, distilled it, barreled it, and aged it in Scotland. And they're doing fantastic work with original Caribbean stock. Over here I see what really re-kickstarted the premium brand level of rum in the mixology era. 10 Cane, which comes from Trinidad. The stock comes from Trinidad, but they are, I guess, subcontracted by LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which is an ultra premium brand and a big alcohol house in the world. We all know the Moet Hennessy line and the Champagne line. And this is their rum, and everybody started seeing these bottles, and there's a whole range of cocktails that started back with this. This is just an amazing collection. Trinidad again with Angostura, 1824, which the top is dipped in wax and sealed. And they have the little booklets with all about it, the notes, the tasting notes of it. It's just amazing rums here. This one is a very special bottle. It's an Edwin Charney from Jamaica. Very small batch. These are Venetian blown glass. And if you look inside, there's a still inside the bottle. And I guess that's a replica of the still that they used to make the rum. The sheer variety of it all. Just the way it's grouped, the differences in aging, the different companies. One thing that I would have to say about this collection is, besides the vastness of it, is the organization. All right, the ages, the variety. All right, as a collector and a lover, this is porn for me.